Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Scottish News Network News Report. I'm your host here, King PJ, and today we're here to cover a bunch of things that have just happened. Saga has removed all of the dupe stashes, all the spare items, everything within Scotland, meaning that that has allowed us to have a full economic reset with new structuring on rolls and other great things here within Scotland. I'm excited for it. Hopefully, you are. Sorry if you lost some of your stuff. It's probably spawned out of creative anyway. So, suffer. But first things first is I want to go over a lot of the new job roles. First things first is we'll cover military because that is the deepest part of our culture. Now, first things first. Archers are now a whole separate class, whole separate role, right? They rock in leather armor that's prot 4 with some powerful ass bows. You better be good at hitting shots, otherwise you will most likely die as an archer. This is your only excuse if you're bad at PvP to bow spam people, right? And you get regen 1 while holding bows or crossbows. So I think that is a great addition to add to archers to make PvP a little bit more spicy. Next is cavalry. They have their own things. They get Prot 3 iron armor. They have horses that they ride into combat. The horses that they do have get a speed 2 boost on them, meaning that these bastards are zippy as fuck, right? They're able to outmaneuver soldiers, outmaneuver archers, and unless if you're a really good shot or very good at dealing with horses while on foot, cavalry will run circles around you. And then soldiers, they now have resistance added on to them, meaning they are more tanky, they're able to take more hits, and PvP engagements will be able to swing a lot longer. And I'm super excited to see how that turns out, right? But besides that, still all the standard military ranks such as general, major, captain, lieutenant, sergeant, and private. So nothing too much has changed there. Same with the royal roles. It's still the king, queen, duke, regent, earl, and baron down top to bottom. Not too much has changed. Although we now have made it where certain job roles can't get certain things, such as, for example, blacksmiths are the only people that can have experience now. No other group in society can have XP. Meaning, if you want name tags, enchantments, items renamed, anything like that, you need a blacksmith. They are now probably the most important job within Scotland. These people are going to be very rich very quick. Um, Also, another group of people that I think are going to be wildly just like busted are builders because they are the only people that are allowed to build now. And Nautilus shells, the little seashells that you get out of shipwrecks, they can make you float. They give you slow falling. So, meaning if you're a builder up on a second story building, you'll float down very calmly and land very relaxed, safely, everything. Also, we're switching over to all paper money, meaning everything in Scotland will be paper, and each dukedom will have a bank, such as Rosemarkie just finished their bank here within our building period. Ayr has their bank already. Melrose has their bank already. Helmsdale has a bank already, even though they're not an active dukedom anymore. Genoa and Aberdeen are the only two dukedoms I know that need to make a bank, last I checked. But besides that, everybody's up to snuff. But we're going to go pop over to Rosemarkie real quick just to see how they're developing. So, starting out here in Blackridge, here on the left, and Lauder on the right side of the rivers, as you can see, the river perfectly divides them. There's been expansions, some remodels, and a better feeling of the area altogether. Where Blackridge is now an actual town, and Lauder is starting to get the foundations of it, but hasn't exactly gotten there yet. But Blackridge is definitely becoming a place, and I'm quite happy about that. But while we swing between towns and work our way over to Rosemarkie, we'll also be addressing the fact that Doggy Club is now the new Duke of Genoa, which hats off to him. He did a great job when he had power within Helmsdale. And due to that fact and Duke Copperhawk stepping down, we now have Doggy running within Genoa. Also, Caden has returned as a Duke of Melrose. We do not have a Duke of Aberdeen yet. We're rushing to get one, and we probably do not have one still by the time you're seeing this report. But Ayr is, of course, under the King, which is me. And then Rosemarkie is under Duke OH, which he is been known and he's been around on Scotland, but has not fully taken on a government position like this, and we're very excited to see how he performs. And with what we've seen so far, he is doing quite well. Now here's Rose Markey. You see the bank. I don't agree with the giant floating money sign. I know a bunch of you guys probably don't either. We'll work that out with the builders. But Rose Markey is starting to come back together. The wall is rebuilt from the damages that were done by the previous Duke, Duke Sal, and a lot of Rose Markey has been repaired past that, including the fort on top of the hill, which that was completely stripped off the top and decapped. So we're quite happy to see that. I hope everybody else is still quite happy to see that. And it's quite amazing to see Rose Markey back together as a coherent place, besides that small hole in the wall, which we fixed later. I just saw that. Besides that, I'm really excited to see how Rose Markey turns out, because there's a bunch of good builders behind Rose Markey, such as Builder Kai, which is responsible for the town of Killing, and some other builders that are coming in from Melrose and Air that are helping in and throwing in to help out. It's really good to see Rose Markey's getting a second life after the damages of Duke Sal and other dukes that were from it. Because the last good Duke, in my opinion, was Duke Bree, but we won't get into that. That's going to make some people very unhappy with me saying that. I love the Mushroom Banner. The old Mushroom Banner. For the real OGs of the news network, you know exactly what banner I'm talking about, and you love that banner too. But we'll walk down over here towards Kelty, which is another town that's being redeveloped and has been on the news before with the old fort disagreement. Minecraft has schizophrenia in it. Um, we now have stuff like this where these old settlements will be soon getting new life and expanded and breath, yes, a new breath into them. While the old Genoan conflict of the forts is still well and around. I don't know if Doggy Club and OH will agree to disassemble the forts that were put down during that old Cold War era disagreement. And the old Dukedom of Queensferry still has their monolith, because there's no other word for it except monolith that exists, which hopefully will be dealt with soon. But until we get the dukedoms that we are working on done, the monolith remains as a scar to the surface of Scotland, and hopefully that will disappear very soon. Although, Rose Marquis is starting to come together, Air is starting to come together, and a lot of other dukedoms are starting to see a new life breathe right down into their mouth, like a CPR resuscitation, which I'm super excited for. And as long as things keep going on track how they're supposed to, I have full faith within a healthy revival of Scotland with no hiccups or hindrances on none of the toxic things that we saw from previous groups, such as the Meat Clan, Cummings, and other groups like that. So, we'll send you back to the office to go over a few final things and then sign off. Just as a small reminder, the first Edinburgh Pizza is going to be celebrating its 4-year anniversary coming up here pretty soon. So there will be a special where they are selling free pizzas. Make sure to swing by to an Edinburgh Pizza in either Ayr or Edinburgh within the dukedoms of Ayr or Aberdeen, and you will be able to receive a shulker of free margarita pizzas. Besides that, we'll let you go back to your news. I hope you enjoyed today's bits of news. I'm sorry about the last news report having such horrible quality, but it is how it is. Luckily, the Make-A-Wish patient got to be on the news. Sadly, they have passed within the last days. May God rest their soul. Although, we do have other ups coming up, even in the thought of the down being dead. So, make sure to stay tuned, go down, like and subscribe this video, and we will hope to see you here once again. And if you're interested in joining the Kingdom of Scotland, the link is down in the description below.